Islam, Moors. I honor to Allah and His Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Just a quick little message and a quick little reading I want to do. Most of you may know this. Most of you may already be privy to some of this information, But I'm going to read it anyway. Well, what I want to talk about is the importance of staying in habit. It's so important to be exactly who you say you are. Something. Turban. Fez. Preferably on your head, Something that's going to distinguish you as who you say you are. Okay? A Moorish American. At all times in public, as often as you can. Okay? We can't be confused that they're confused about who we are when we never represent who we are with our royal and noble headdresses. Okay? You have to wear your noble and royal headdress. I was at two places today. And, auspiciously enough, it's the Islam. Auspiciously enough, it was a grocery store. And me and my family, we had went to the gym early in the morning. Did our little workout. And I brought my, Islam, brother. I brought my, I stay in my kaftan, my kimono, my fez. At the gym, at the store, it don't really matter. Went to the store to get some groceries for dinner. And sure enough, a Moor sees me, a brother sees me, and he's like, salam, as soon as he sees me. Why? Because obviously he sees the fez. He's already knowing what's up, right? And me and him getting a long conversation. And I could tell, and he was saying he was looking for somebody to express his idea to, And he turned out to be a brother from so-called Nigeria. He was Igbo. And he's just talking about this dream he had that all of a sudden the gravity shut off. And that, the world was going into like a different dimension and all this kind of thing, And he's like, I have these thoughts. I just had nobody to talk to. But he sees me in the fez, and right there we're able to connect. So get his number, information or whatever, and I tell him, hey, one of these things that we're dealing with here in the United States is that they got us classified as black and, all this kind of thing. And he was, listening to me, and he was like, yeah, one of the things we're missing in this in this day and age, because it's strange times, is we're missing alchemy, So he's been looking for somebody to express these ideas to. But what did it? It wasn't the fact that I was another brown-skinned person out here. He wanted to talk to me because he saw the fez. Immediately he knew what's up. Now, he didn't have nothing on his head but a scully. But right there, Islam. Right there, y'all. I hear so many Moors like, where the Moors at? Where we... I don't got no Moors that live around me. But I bet you ain't out there in your turban and fez like you're supposed to be. Because I guarantee as soon as you put a turban or fez on, the whole dynamic is going to change. You're going all of a sudden, people with knowledge or people who know about the Moors or people who are truthers or thinkers are going to start running up to you. Because it's just the ancient frequency of knowledge is our royal and our noble headdresses. You dig what I'm saying? So stay with that. Stay with it on, because that's how more is going to know you out there. That's how you're going to connect. Somebody might not have the confidence that you have to wear theirs. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, but once they see you, they might gain that confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. So that was that. So me and him, I had my family in the car because we just left the gym, and of course, wear your colors. Today is Wednesday. So I had my blue on, right? Purple, blue, thoth, right? Throat chakra. Stay in line with the cosmos and these Eloah. Today, Raphael, So communication. Use these. This is more science. This is how we do it. All right. So it's no coincidence he ran into me. We had this long conversation, exchanged numbers and everything, and I'm going, work on building because I'm wearing blue. I'm in divine order of the day's frequency, and I got my national headdress on, just like that. That's how you run into Moors. That's how you get in these conversations. That's how you run out and, find people and y'all build and teach and whatever and learn. And that's how we're going to save our people, is being who we are. That's what the prophet said. I'm just here to teach you to be who you were. And who you are, who your ancestors were, right? So I leave from there, drop my family off at home, and we're making like a taco salad type thing. So my wife's like, oh, man, we need tortilla chips. We forgot them. So I had to run up to the little store, Islam. I had to run up to the store, and I grabbed another bag of like so-called tortilla chips. And I go to check out. Here's a Mobite. She's looking me up and down. She's got a nice little natural hairdo. And she's an older lady, and I'm still just like this, Fez on, it's a Dollar General, but I got my Fez on. Be yourself at all times. All right? When you out in public, this right here changes the whole atmosphere of anywhere you're at. Everybody's looking like, who the heck is that guy? What does he know? I want to know that guy. I want to talk to that guy. Right? Albions, Moors. So I see the Mobile test standing there. Now, she thinks she's black at this time. And she looks at me. She says, hello, I'm, hey, salam. And so then she's kind of like, So she's sitting there and she checks out and I'm behind her. And you can tell she's trying to stall. She's trying to stall around the door, maybe to talk to me or whatever. So I finally check out because I only had one bag of tortilla chips. And we're getting out the door, and she just turns around. Can I ask you, can I ask you, what? And before I was like, I already know. I said, yeah, I said, this is the Moorish Fez. I said, this is what, our ancestors wore. This is who we are. And she said, what? I said, yeah. I said, how. And there was a Mexican lady walking by, a so-called Mexican lady. I said, how, you would call her a Mexican and, somebody from Italy you would call Italian. And then, they got a land, they got a culture, they got a nation. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, so what is a black? What is a white? And she's like, I never thought of that. That's so true. I said, white, when you think of white, you think of purity, It really means landlord, freeholder, right? So they call themselves white. We call ourselves black, which means, if you look in any credible dictionary, it's going to say detestable, Negro, malicious, heinous, dirty or whatever. I said, these are just legal statuses. That's why everybody else has a nationality. Everybody else has a land, a culture, a tongue, and that's why we're black and white. Then I proceeded, to just show facts, because when you run into these people, this is why you want to keep things on your phone, pictures or whatever, just right there, because you only got a certain type of window with these people, because once you tell them and you make them understand, hey, we're not black, and they can understand that right there, their mind is blown. So whatever you try to interject after that, many times it's just like overkill almost, because they're trying to ingest that first piece like, what the hell? That's so true. And so I just hit her and I just showed her. I said, here, look at this. Did you know that the United States of America's first treaty was with Morocco? I said, actually, whether you know it or not, you're standing on Morocco. And the reason why their first treaty was with Morocco is because this is Morocco. She said, how so? I said, wouldn't you, if you were a nation or a new nation, wouldn't you make your first treaty with your closest neighbors? Why would you make your first treaty with somebody that's across the ocean in Africa who might not be thinking about you or who knows you exist? And she was, that's so true. Why would, yeah, exactly. We made the treaty with Morocco because this is Morocco. So the United States of America had to make their treaty with us because we were here, your closest neighbors, right? So then I bust out the treaty and peace of friendship. I say, look, treaty with Morocco. Then I went to Article 6 and Article 21 and 22 of that treaty, and I showed her where it says Moors. I said, hey, look, we are Moors, and we were called Moors before slavery. Moors means dark-skinned person, and we were known as Moors all over the world before they called us black to put us in that low status, to put us in slavery. She was like, wow. So then I pulled up the dictionary, Johnny Walker English Dictionary from 1828. The page is page 346. And on it is Moor, the word Moor. And it says a marsh, a bog, or whatever. And then it says a Negro, a blackamoor. So that right there, boom, that was enough. We don't got to do the most, and then we exchange numbers. And, I'm about to send her more literature now. But that happens to me all the time, Not because I'm out here, with the feather, and just, if you did that, that would do something too, your feathers and but I specifically wear my turban and fez because it sets you apart. That's the instructions from Prophet Noble Ali. And it works every time. You're always going to run into these Moors when you come out here in habit. All right. And you're always going to run into like minds and thinkers and people because you're just going to look like you're just an interesting person. And they know you're on a certain frequency. You know what I mean? You shall know them by their crowns. Right. It's happening all the time. More, I was wearing a shirt with love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and caught a lot of people's attention that knows about the Moors. Yeah, straight up. They know. Most people know. They just don't know where the Moors is at. That's why we got to come out with our turbans and feathers. Stay in habit because it's a frequency. It's a spell. It's a thing that you're doing to the algorithm, that you're doing to the matrix. Throwing it off because you're unleashing ancestral frequency onto this plane, and our ancestors, they got a lot to give us still, and they have a lot to say about what's going down. And if we interject their frequency into this plane through us, we're going to get so much more work done if we stay like this. All right, hip hop culture and fitted caps and all that kind of stuff. That's cool. That's just what we took what we got. And we made it something of our own, but it's not us. It's not a noble. It delineates to no ancestry. Okay, so like I said, that's just my thing to stay in habit. It works. Staying in habit always just brings them in. And you're gonna change the atmosphere around you. So real quick. So what this thing is about, y'all. It's about love. All right. A little reading from the prophet. I'm going to try to just throw in readings from the prophet more and more. Prophet makes plea to the nation. March 1st, 1929. Our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and the American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. That's interesting. Now, he distinguishes us. For all the Moors who still fight that we are United States of America citizens and all that kind of stuff, it's very telling right here in this reading. Remember, every word out the prophet's mouth, every penned letter out of his pen was divine. Okay, had a very specific resonance to be shared and to be under, to go into the subconscious of all who read them. You might not pick up on some of this stuff, but keep reading the prophet's works. Keep going over them. Keep going on. And sometimes you read some of the prophet's works, it's like, huh? But just keep reading it. Keep going back over it. And that's why brothers like Tosh came and gave us word science and all this kind of stuff. You're going to be amazed at what you can find. And just simple writings like this. So he distinguishes us. He said, the prophet, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and the American citizens. So obviously he's making a distinction between Moors and American citizens, right? To help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. Okay? So the Asiatic is fallen, not the Moor. We are Asiatic, but our nationality is Moor. Our species is Asiatic, so to say, race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. Right? It is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names. Okay? Everybody, you can't just be an American. That's why he told us we're Moorish Americans. That gives us an inheritance of world level inheritance, right? Everybody else can just have a specific little situation. You're German American. You can be an Italian American, an Irish American, an English American. Most of what all these Europeans over here are, because they were born on American soil. So they are technically Native Americans. But when you say Moorish, you tie yourself into the world history. Okay. National descent names. To answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. So he's saying they doing it, right? I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. So he's saying they do it, right? That's why I am calling on all true national citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing to help this national government. The Moorish government. I'm gonna drop on my page here soon a document that entails around the whole, because there's some confusion still, I think, that most people have about the Morocco being a corporation in 1956, that whole thing. But you got to understand that there was a Moorish government already in place and running, and they have it in the in all the records of these meetings and things around Morocco becoming a corporate state. Okay, so they have a delineation between the Moorish government and the so-called Moroccan government, and I'm gonna put that up here soon, or maybe I'll teach a class about it, so we can kind of get that understanding. But I'm gonna do one or the other. I'll let y'all know, right? So he's saying our government is a national government too, the Moors, right? For without a free national name, with a descent flag of your forefathers, there is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. This is from your true and divine prophet unto all American and foreign sympathizers. Keeps distinguishing them. Because when he's saying American, it's not that he's not saying Moors in the sense. He's saying American, Irish American, German American, all these people who are over here, who were born here. They don't know what's up, and whose land is really an heirship to, which is the Moorish Americans. Okay. So, yeah, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So take that and break that down as you will. Once again, this is the autobiography, or the biography, of Noble Drew Ali, the exhuming of a nation, through Sheikh Elihu Pleasant Bay. And this boy is thick with knowledge. He's all the Prophet's writings. At least his main writings or whatever. I'm sure some of these temples have things we've never seen. You know what I mean? But that's the problem. They got things we ain't never seen. You feel me? That's part of the problem. Well, what you hiding the information for? You know what I'm saying? But that's just how we do to each other when we're still in lower self, is that we always got to play one-up games with each other as a people. Some people like to play those games. I'm a little bit better than you games. You know what I'm saying? All right. But, yeah. Just a quick little message. Stay in habit. That's how people will know us. That's how people will be able to find us. You know what I'm saying? The good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? But that's the whole thing. You got to stand on this. Because we're all going to have a report to give. You know what I'm saying? In the plane of soul when we leave from here. About what we did or what we were willing to do, what we weren't willing to do. So don't let fear get you. Fear is the enemy. All right? Be who you are. If you are who you are and you know that you're the God on earth and all this, Allah, man is one, then it's not a thing in this matrix that you are to fear. There's nothing to fear. All right? So, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honors to all active Moors. Honors to all, those seeking and searching. You're going to find your way. Highest and supreme honors to Allah and His Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Peace and love, y'all. Islam.